Recording live from the Northeast Georgia Business RadioX studio. This is Northeast Georgia Business Radio. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to another exciting edition of Northeast Georgia Business Radio. I'm your host, Tom Sheldon, and we're coming to you live from the beautiful Empower College and Career Center of Jackson County. I have with me today Shawn Maloney, Retire Wise LLC. Shawn, welcome to the Northeast studio.
Thanks, Tom. I appreciate you having me, man.
Good. Hey, it's good to have you here. I know you've been a busy man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I guess that's a good sign.
It is a good sign. It's always good to be busy.
Retire Wise. I bet you do something along the lines of retirement.
So what gave it away?
Well, retire is in there, but then I'm thinking, it says wise.
That's right.
And sometimes it's wise to retire, sometimes it's not. I don't know. I know people who retire, quote unquote retire, and they work harder in retirement.
That's right.
They need to go back to work to rest.
That's right. Well, so the wise is there on purpose.
Right.
Right? Because you got to retire the proper way.
You should.
Right? And wise, like you said, though, a lot of people, though, you gotta define your purpose, your purpose in retirement. So for some people, hey, I can't sit still. I don't know about you, but I know for me, I'm not going to be able to sit still. So I'm going to find something
for like
to do.
2 days, and like, all right, we got to do something.
That's right. That's right. So there's a lot that goes into it. So yeah, we do retirement planning, but we look at it from a very personalized overall way of doing things, right? It's just not finances. We do the finances side of it, but in addition to that, you got to factor in what does that actually mean, to retire?
Yeah, really. What does it mean? Well, I'm going to put you on the spot. What does it mean?
Yeah, so
there's a million different
answers to that question, right? And it's personal to everybody.
Exactly.
So that's the first question I'm going to ask people. What is it that you want to do in retirement? Really. And then if you find your purpose, we'll coach people around if they don't know, because we get a lot of blank stares when you tell people that.
What do you do?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And now, okay, you have all this freedom, so now it's time, hey, what do you really want to do with your time? Once we can help figure that out, then we can figure out what your retirement plan looks like.
So you want a happy retirement, to retire happy.
That's it.
Retire happy, is that the catchphrase?
That's it. That's a catchphrase. We have a bunch of, I call it my retire happy framework, because there's a lot
of course you do.
Of course I do. Of course, you got to have a framework.
Yeah. And make it happy, if you got to have one.
If you don't want a downer of a framework.
No. This is my absolutely horrible retirement framework. We hate it. No. Happy retirement. Retirement can be, hey, I don't want to drive an hour into work every day anymore. Or it could be, I'm never leaving the couch.
That's true.
Or the bedroom even. Man, how do you work within all that?
Yeah, and like I said,
because there is a million definitions.
Yeah, most definitely. So you find what their passion is, and then
see if they can afford it.
Well, yeah, and so because if someone says, all I want to do is sit on the couch all day, okay, that's fairly easy.
Yeah.
But if they want to travel the world, or they want to spoil their grandbabies, or give to charity, or whatever it is, we're going to approach that a little bit different, right?
I'm with you.
And then we'll figure out how to fund their retirement.
So you're almost a counselor as much as you're anything.
It's funny you say that, because you get in and you talk to some couples, and finances are one of those things that people argue about, right?
Well, yeah, it can get uncomfortable.
Yeah. And so you're sitting across the table from somebody, and they're looking at each other, giving them the eyes, and you're like, okay, what am I getting into? And you really have to kind of talk it through and figure out their personalities, what makes them tick, and then figure out a plan together.
Wow. Good luck with that. Hey, I'm just a radio host. That's all you, brother.
I appreciate it.
What made you get into this? Did you bump your head? Did you,
Yeah,
fall out of a tree?
You would think. Really what it is that, we all work really hard our whole life, right? Well, I would say 99% of us do, right? There's always a few that don't.
Well, the ones who really can claim to retire have.
Right. So you work hard your whole life. I hate seeing people, and there's a huge percentage of people in America today that, they're relying on Social Security. They don't know if they're going to be able to pay their bills.
Social what?
So, yeah, it's this weird concept that the government put out there. That's a whole nother topic.
I almost said that thing they've been lying to people about for 60 years, but I didn't say that.
You didn't say that.
Because that would be so wrong for me, the impartial host, to say.
Right.
So, I'm sorry. A little jab there, folks.
No, good. It's good.
I cut you off. I'm sorry. It just popped into my head.
No, very valid point. We're actually going to touch on that.
Nice.
So the passion goes back to the happy piece, right? Mm-hmm. Be able to enjoy your retirement. Man, you worked hard your whole life.
I know.
Let's figure out how to make that work.
I know people who have been just absolutely just miserable
Yep.
as soon as they retired.
Yep.
My father was one of those.
Yeah. Really?
Oh, yeah. He worked, well, he would have worked till the day he dropped dead if he could not physically, but in his mind he had to.
So that's not what he wanted to do. It didn't make him happy. He just thought he had to.
Well, I guess. It's really hard to say, to be honest with you. He thought he should be out there doing whatever, and physically he could not.
Yeah.
Mentally, he was sound.
Right.
But my point is, he died at a young age. He was almost 76 when he died.
Okay. Wow.
All right, yeah. And the last 5 years of his life or so, he was miserable.
That's terrible.
I know he never got a chance to enjoy it.
Yep.
But I'm honestly looking back, I don't know if he knew what to enjoy, to be honest with you.
And you see that a lot. It's just people don't know what to do with their time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then he had health problems, so, that made it worse. But anyway, sorry. Enough about my dad.
No, that's good. I'd love to hear it.
So why did we cover why, let's see, you fell out of a tree. That's why you got into
Yeah,
this.
I fell out of a tree and then sales just came to me,
Yeah.
So that's really it. I mean, I want to be able to help people and have people enjoy their retirement. Hey, let's get, obviously you want to enjoy your whole life, but when you get to that point and you have all this free time, supposedly, let's figure out what it is that you want to do, and not have to worry about the finance side of it, right?
Right.
And it's kind of why we say the retire happy and the retire happy factor, because that's the whole first concept. If you can fund this first sector to make sure your basic bills and all that are covered,
right,
you can sleep at night and you don't have to worry about your dang bills.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
That can put your mind at ease a little bit. Then, okay, great. Once you get that covered, you move into the next phase, the next bucket, if you will, of funding to say, what do you want to do beyond that, right? And that just increases the happy factor.
Let's hope so.
You're right.
So I got to hit you with the obvious question. Why you, man?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that, though.
I'm ignorant. We all know this. 5 years ago, I'm generalizing, there was one financial advisor on every third corner. Now there's 3 advisors on every corner.
It's like a Waffle House, right?
Almost. They even close up, though. I don't
true.
see too many financial planners closing up.
Yeah, so I think a lot of that is it's very competitive, and I think
I can imagine.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it has to do with the technology that's come along the way over the last several years, really the last decade.
Okay.
Has made the entry. You still have to be licensed and all that kind of stuff,
Sure.
right? You still got to have
Sure.
some knowledge there,
Right.
But it's
That can be the easy part, though.
yeah. I mean,
It
it's
doesn't say
studying-
you're going to be good in the competitive world.
Exactly. That's book knowledge. That's,
Yeah.
And so what the technology has done is made it to where it removes some of the barrier to success, not barrier to entry, really barrier to success.
Okay.
Because they can rely on some technology to spit out some information. They put in some things and it spits it out. Okay.
AI?
AI is part of that. That's becoming a lot more. But even before then, there was technology with modeling. Not that modeling's bad, but you've heard of robo-advisors?
I have now. No, I have not.
So
Robo-advisors.
Robo-advisors. So instead of me sitting across the table from you,
Right.
and getting to know you, your family, what your needs are, your personality, what makes you happy, they plug it in, and the robo-advisor it's pure financial. That's all it is, right?
Okay.
And it runs through some algorithms, and whammo, you get an output.
Really? So you're an algorithm at that point.
Yep, you are. You're just a number, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
You're just a number. So when I get asked the question about what sets me apart,
Right.
now I'm not the only person that sits across the table from somebody.
Right.
But I really love getting to know people in the personalized aspect of it. We're going to come up with, what do you need to retire? How are we going to make it there financially? Let's personalize it. It's not a one-size-fits-all, right?
Okay.
We got to figure out what works for you.
Right.
That doesn't work for the guy next to you. That's where these robo-advisors, where I love technology and I'll utilize technology to make me efficient and better, but I don't rely on it to be, okay, I'm just going to push a button and here comes a plan.
So you're not just dependent on that computer.
Exactly.
You got people around you, resources,
Yeah, exactly.
like good community partners.
That's right. That's right.
But one of our great community partners is Winfield Realty Group. Randy Winfield and his team consistently provide a concierge, best-in-class personal level of service to their clients. First-time home buyer, relocation, selling, or buying your current home, Winfield Realty Group is ready to assist. And hey, let's face it, Randy Winfield is one of the nicest people you will ever meet. I call him the concierge of class. You talk about pressure, the concierge of class. But folks, visit WinfieldRealtyGroup.com today, and while you're at it, visit our new website here at Business Radio X, negabrx.com, negabrx.com, to see all our great community partners. Shawn, you still there?
I'm here with you, brother.
I got to pay the bills, man.
I hear you on that one.
But no, Randy Winfield, great guy. We're lucky to have him as a community partner. What were we talking about?
Why me?
Why you? That's right.
And robos.
And robo advisors. I'm telling you, the day of the Terminator's coming. I'm just saying.
Right?
I'm just saying.
Isn't that a pretty picture, having a Terminator sitting there doing your finances?
Yeah, and he knows how your retirement's going to end. Like, boom, boom, done. That's the end of that. Hey,
we all know how we're going to end.
You're retired,
right?
Yeah. He just cuts out all the middleman and the whatever man, and wow. So how? And this is an open-ended question.
Sure.
Other than maybe the day you're born, is there a sweet spot to start doing this? I can imagine the day you turn 65 or 70 or even 62 or something like that, it's probably not the best time to start.
You got that right.
And I know, start when you're 30. That's not always possible.
It's not always possible. So the canned answer is earlier the better. Right?
I know that. I know that answer.
That's the canned answer because it makes it easier. You don't have to sacrifice as much. You don't have to put as much aside every month.
Right.
However, most of the people we end up talking to that come to us are mid 40s to mid 50s, right? And because you get to that, they have a life event. Maybe their kids got older. They're graduated from college. They got grandbabies, weddings, and they go, "Oh man,
now I got old."
Yeah, what happened?
I understand that.
Where'd all those years go?
Yeah,
right?
really.
And now they're thinking about, well, now they've got through that phase, and now they're turning attention to themselves. So that's where the most of people, or a large portion of people, come to us. And we can help anybody, because there's different aspects of the planning process. I love seeing people in their earlier 40s and their late 30s to start, because at that point, normally you've started a family already, you got your career going, you have some direction.
Stability.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
While I would love to have younger people, come, I'll tell you this, the youngest client I have is actually 19 years old.
That's good.
Fantastically young man, got his head on his shoulders. Now that's rare.
It is.
But the sweet spot really is, late 30s, early 40s is prime, because it gives you the runway.
Oh, yeah.
And like you said, security is a good word. You're moving forward with your career in life.
I got
Hopefully.
I got you. But 50 is not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. There's things you can do. There may be some catch up, but even if you don't have the means to do catch up, the planning part is critical, because most people think about, like, when you think about retirement, you probably think about, how much money do I need, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as far as financial.
Well, outliving your money.
Exactly.
Which I think 90% of us are going to do.
Right. So,
to be honest with you,
if you outlive your money, we're all living longer, right? Yeah. Medical technology is fantastic. So we want to minimize, that's called longevity risk, right?
Right.
So we want to minimize that risk, right? So, but a lot of people think about what we call the accumulation phase. All right, what's my number? What's that magic number I got to get?
Right.
Right. And that's only part of it, though. So if you come to me and you're 50 years old, you really haven't started much, you got very little, we'll figure out how to get to that happy factor that we're talking about, right? And we'll be honest. We're going to be really honest. This is what it's going to take, right?
Right.
However, what most people don't realize is the backside of that is, once you retire and how you distribute your money.
Yeah.
How, when, and where, from what accounts, and how you do it, taxes, what the government has, all that kind of stuff makes a huge difference in how long your money lasts.
I know very little. I know a little bit about that to sound stupid, but the distribution part is huge.
It is.
Because you can really screw that up.
You can, and if you don't have the right plan in place, then if you take money out of the wrong account at the wrong time, you heard of compounding interest, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
yes.
It's the same way the other direction. If you take money out and you're taking it out of the wrong accounts at the wrong time, it has a compounding effect on how long your money's going to last.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I'm with you. Now, I do believe many of us will outlive our money. Shawn, $1 million today, what is that going to be worth 20, 30, 40 years from now?
Yeah. We all know the word inflation, right?
And, yeah.
That's one of the other key risks that you got to account for is the inflation side. What's the dollar worth today versus what it's going to be worth tomorrow?
Right.
And you got to factor that into their overall plan.
How in the world can you do that, man?
Well,
you try your best, I know.
But that's just math, right? And
I hope so.
Well, and you look at some of the historical averages and those kind of things.
Right.
Now, I will say we're projecting higher. We're using higher percentages now than we ever have, even though
I bet you are.
it's gone down a little bit. We're back into the 3 range or so. But historically, a lot of planners would use 1.5 or 2%.
That low.
Yeah, but now you can't do that. You just can't.
So what are you offering your clients?
So I like to be flexible. A lot of people some advisors have like minimums and requirements and all that kind of stuff.
We've seen the commercials on Sunday morning. If you have a $500,000 portfolio,
Right.
the first 10 people get a free something or other.
Right.
And we'll send you a koozie.
That's right. That's
Sorry.
right.
Running joke with koozies. Never mind.
I got a koozie for it. No, I'm just kidding.
And who doesn't? Big running joke with koozies, but it's okay.
It's a good question because I don't have minimums. It goes back to why I got into this. I just want to help people be ready.
Right.
Everybody needs to be ready, and you got to know what you have and how to work with it. Whether you have $50 in your bank or whether you have $50 million in your bank,
Yeah.
you have to have a plan. And
Exactly.
I don't want to exclude anybody from that. So that's the first thing. Second thing is we have 3 different levels of way we can help you. Sometimes it's just, you mentioned hey, sign up and we'll give you a report.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll do that for you as a one-off. And hey, we'll do the analysis and give you a plan, and here you go. You can go carry it out yourself if you feel, that's what you want to do. The second piece of that is kind of a hybrid where we'll give you the analysis and the plan, put the roadmap in place for you. And we're just there as consultants to say, these are the people that want to have hands-on, but they still need some guidance along the way. So we offer that level. And then the third level is we're going to do the analysis and plan and then manage it with you, walk alongside with you throughout to execute it. So whatever works for you and what's affordable for you, what works for you, what you're comfortable with, we try to be flexible that way.
No, I guess you'd have to be. And I know you're trying your best, but there's still got to be risk.
Oh, yeah.
I guess the ultimate risk is outliving your money or just simply running out of your money.
That's right.
At a young age. What other risks are there, though? I imagine some of it is stock market based.
Yep.
That's always a risk.
Right. There's what I break it down into 6 different risks.
Oh, wow.
Right.
That doesn't make me feel better.
Doesn't make it.
Well, you could have went with just 2 or
Just
3,
2 or 3,
you know?
right?
6.
6.
Lovely,
So,
lovely.
Yeah, there's lovely 6 of them.
Nice.
Really a 7th if you count the distribution phase that people don't account for. The core risk, you got market risk like you just talked about. What's the stock market doing? Got all these wavy lines and ups and downs and roller coasters. How do we control that?
The
right?
CEO sneezed and everyone dumped the stock.
Exactly. Isn't that funny?
That happened a few days ago to me.
Right.
But anyway.
Isn't that funny?
No, it's not.
Totally,
It is not funny.
Totally irrelevant news will make company stocks go haywire.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
So sidebar on that is we help take the emotional side of that out, right? Mm-hmm. We care about your money, but you care about your money even more.
Oh, of course.
Right? So it's emotional, and we help you avoid those knee-jerk reactions. Oh, my gosh, look what just happened in the market.
Sell
it
everything.
all. We're going to dump everything and put it in the backyard in a hole.
People will do that, will they not?
They will. And so every time that happens, I'm getting phone calls. I'm calling my clients saying, it's okay, we got you.
It'll come back.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Market risk is huge. You got, we talked about inflation. So you got the inflation risk. There's taxation risk of what are they going to do with taxes. Mm-hmm. Most people used to plan that when you retire, your taxes were going to be lower, right? It's probably not the case anymore, right?
No, not really.
We're historically in the lowest tax brackets that we've been at in the United States. There's another period that was kind of close and even, but if you look at where the national debt is, you look at where taxes are at, you look where we're going, it's not a party thing. It's bipartisan. Taxes are going to go up at some point, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there's that, but also how do you account for taxes,
Right.
when you do that distribution, right? So you have that. The withdrawal risk, we talked about earlier, when you take things out. But the 2 biggest ones are the longevity risk that we talked about, outliving your money. Mm-hmm. And there's another one called sequence of returns risk. What that sequence of returns risk is, we've also touched on a little bit. If the market's going down, economy's going down, you got to be able to take money out of accounts that aren't going down, mm-hmm. right? So you got to have this volatility bucket or buffer, if you will.
Right.
So it's just not hey, we're going to put all our money in the stock market. There's different things you're going to invest in across the board to diversify. That's going to enable you to have that volatility bucket.
Right, the buffer.
Yep. And withdraw money out at the appropriate accounts at the right time. Okay. Those are the 2 biggest. Longevity and sequence returns are the 2 things that are going to kill retirement plans if you're not accounted for.
I got you. So some bonds, some T-bills, annuities.
Yep, all that.
Fun stuff like that.
Yep, and it's not put everything in one, right?
Oh, never do that.
No, I mean you're going to, depending on your situation,
right.
We're going to figure out what has to go in each one of those categories.
I got you.
Yeah.
What did we miss, man? We've been going over 20 minutes.
It's flying by.
It's fun. I'm telling you. Seriously, what did we miss? Talk to the people. I give it to you.
Yeah. So my biggest thing is like we touched on earlier, as far as the old cliche, plan for tomorrow today, right? Mm-hmm. And we talked a little bit about Social Security and all that. I did want to touch on that just a little bit, right? I know
that's right. How could I forgot that?
It's front and center for a lot of people's minds. I'm a believer that they're going to do something about it. Now, it's set to go insolvent around 2033, 2034, depending on what math you're doing. What that means is they're going to have more money going out than coming in.
Right.
And then, so what are they going to do about it, right? Well, is it a political issue? Sure it is, because if they don't do something about it, they're not going to get votes, right? There's a lot of senior citizens out there that are voting.
Buying votes, folks.
Yeah. And so something has to happen. There's a lot of different things that are all, being introduced right now. Anything from reduction in benefits to how much you pay into Social Security and when. A lot of different things. I think it's going to be a combination of those things. Mm-hmm. I do believe Social Security is going to be around. It might look a little bit different, but I don't think it's going to be the devastation that some people are out there, saying it's going to be. However, we have to account for that. We have to account for that.
See, to me, I've been saying since I was 20 years old, and man, that was a long time ago. Mm-hmm. There will not be Social Security when I go to draw it. I made peace with that a long time ago. Hope I'm wrong.
Hope you are too.
But at the same time, if I get anything from Social Security, I think it's just going to be a bonus.
That's a good way to look at it, though, because if you
gambling money or something, I don't know.
If you're
I don't gamble. I can say that I don't gamble.
That's not the best plan in the world, is gambling. But
well, wins resorts and casinos. I'm just saying.
Well, here's something funny for you. So part of the planning, we talked about technology and robo-advisors and all that kind of stuff. The one piece of technology that we use to help predict, you can't predict the future, right? But you can look at historical things. You can run some models and all those kind of things to help you narrow that down a little bit. Mm-hmm. And there's one thing called a Monte Carlo simulation, right? And what it does is we put all our data in. We put all of our upfront analysis and where we want to go. That's one technology that's very helpful. Is it helps us with the different scenarios that could happen, thousands of them, right? Guess where that name came from?
The city, the casino, or the car?
Middle one, the casinos, is where that came from. Okay. Yeah, and that's where it started from, because hey, the house always wins, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So they developed these. They had these data heads back in the day, way back then, before AI, before data scientists ever became really a big thing. They developed these models to figure out their chances of success of winning. House always wins. Mm-hmm. That's hence been developed and adapted for a lot of different industries. NASA uses Monte Carlo simulations for launch sequences and success and all that stuff. And now we've adapted it into the financial world as well.
So, I'm going to let that go. I'm going to let that go. Awesome. Well, Shawn, there's got to be a website.
There is. You can go find us at retirewisepro.com.
retirewisepro.com.
Yes, sir. Check us out.
Nice. Shawn Maloney, you're on Facebook, Instagram?
Yes, sir. All the above. We got Facebook, Instagram. Well, now it's not Twitter anymore, right? It's called X because Mr. Elon.
I still call it Twitter, but
I still call it Twitter too.
Okay.
But yeah, we're out there all over the place. We got a YouTube channel, all that stuff. That's just Retire Wise is a YouTube channel. Some good videos out there for you. You can get links to all that from the website.
Nice.
And you can schedule free consultations with us on the website.
That's what I was about to ask you. How do the folks get a hold of you?
Yeah, that's the easiest thing to do. Just go out. Go out to retirewisepro.com, and there's a big button. As soon as you get on there, it says free consultation.
Perfect.
Yep.
Hard to miss.
Yes, sir.
Shawn, thank you so much for coming in.
Man, Tom, I appreciate you having me on today, man.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for being here. They're going to play my music any second. Oh, there it goes. Folks, another great edition of Northeast Georgia Business Radio. Retire Wise LLC. Shawn Maloney, retirewisepro.com. Go check it out so you're not taking distributions and paying taxes and stuff that you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, I'm Tom Sheldon. We'll talk to you soon.